going on, ladies and gents? Rocco with Rocco'sGamingJourney.com, and we're back with another 1v1 ranked match on the Age of Empires ranked ladder. And I'm definitely excited to bring this one to you because this is my first Ayyubids game that's actually going up on the YouTube channel. And actually, I believe it's the second Ayyubids game that I've played overall. So I am definitely excited to bring this to you, and I'm looking forward for us to review it and go over it together. Now, just a few quick housekeeping rules and housekeeping things before we dive into the game. Can you do a very quick favor for me, please? Pull out your phone and then scan or take a picture of this QR code. You can either do this on your phone and or if you're near your computer, go over to www.mygamingjourney.com/newsletter. Yet again, mygamingjourney.com/newsletter. Whether you scan the QR code on your phone and or utilize the computer, it's going to take you over to a page that looks very similar to this. This is information that I would like you to fill out to in turn end up on my email newsletter. If you are viewing this on the phone, you'll notice that my avatar probably is not showing just because the screen real estate or the screen size is so small. So it kind of just limits it to the actual name, email, and phone number field. But if you are looking at this page on a tablet and or the computer, you should see the entire field along with the avatar. The reason I'm asking you to do this is because once you enter in your information, this will allow me to contact you and keep you updated for any giveaways. Anytime I drop a new blog post, anytime I upload a new video, you'll be able to hear from me directly, and we can cut out the middleman on wherever you're following me on, whether that be YouTube or one of the streaming platforms. Unfortunately, the algorithm does not always push the content out to people who are following and or subscribed to the respective channels. So this allows me to cut out the middleman, contact you directly, and you never have to worry about missing out on any new content that I put out. So once you enter in your information, just click the submit button. Once you click the submit button, go over to the email that you just used on the form, and you're going to get an email from me, from Rocco's Gaming Journey. Just open that email. It could be in the inbox and or the spam. I can't say definitively which one, but open it up and then click the confirm your email button inside of the email, and you're good to go. So now that we got that out the way and housekeeping's all done, let's dive back into the game, ladies and gents. So I'm definitely super excited to see what we have going on. I like to start off by rallying all of my workers over to the berries, which is nice. And it allows me to actually save my sheep for a later time. And then I can just start scouting. Scouting can have a little bit more time on the map, which is good. Collect more sheep, see what my opponent's up to, and just simply go from there. So open up with our House of Wisdom house, and then that follows up by going into a mining camp, right? And I basically rally my next 3 villagers over to gold, and they're just building those buildings along the way. So I'm definitely enjoying the Ayyubids, right? Not only the camels, but I enjoy the fact that the religious units are considered to be cavalry. And I love civs like that. Not necessarily the religious unit being cavalry, but the religious unit actually being considered an army unit. If you notice and you've seen any of my English games, my House Lancaster games, even my Ottoman games, I struggle to keep my religious units with my army. And the majority of the reason why is I normally have my army hotkeyed, just persistent hotkeys, right? Like all infantry will be number 1, archers number 2, or archer related units. Number 3 is siege. Number 4 is cavalry, right? And unfortunately, religious units don't have like their own. You can set a hotkey, but you can't set it as part of a persistent hotkey. At least not what I found, right? So I enjoy the fact, for example, purposes like I mentioned, Ayyubids religious units are not only camels or dervishes, but in addition to that, they're considered cavalry. And I don't end up losing them. They just kind of stay, because I'm moving things around with hotkeys as is, and I enjoy that. So 9 currently on food, 3 on gold. looking pretty good in my humble opinion. And the plan is to go up with my culture wing, right? Just to get the early dervishes. And then basically go from there. So we're clicking up right now. Starting to collect a little bit of wood. Because when the upgrade is done, or not the upgrade, when the age up is done, I do want to be able to start building a few military structures, potentially a tower on the gold. I can't say definitively what I do in this game. I don't remember, but I do like to get a tower on the gold just because I'm not the most adequate individual skill-wise of getting my workers out of danger, right? If I start getting raided, it's a lot easier to put them into an outpost that's near the resource as opposed to trying to run them away, right? So that's how I like to operate in that regard. So still getting a decent chunk of sheep, which is nice. Currently, my split is 5-5-5, as we can see. 5 food, 5 wood, 5 gold, and still scouting. Now, I am up against the Roos, and really quickly, I did forget to mention this early on. My opponent at the time of this recording was Gold 3. I was Gold 2. In regards to the Roos, I was not expecting any kind of rush, and I was happy about that. Not to say that Roos can't rush, but traditionally speaking, I don't see many Roos rush, at least rush me. So I was like, okay. I basically don't have to worry about anything too quick off the bat, and I can kind of, rev myself up as my Ayyubids, being that this is essentially either my first or second Ayyubids game. So that's where we're at right now. And see him actually building an outpost, I guess basically near his wood and near his stone. Not sure why or what the thought process was. Maybe the town center was able to protect this area, I'm assuming. And he had the outpost there for that area. And it looks like he's building his Age 2 landmark down there by the deer. So, got my dervishes out, y'all. Transitioning some of my workers over to some more wood. Or let me just say more workers. Just transitioning the workers who had already got the straggler trees over to the main little quote-unquote woodland at this point. So, building a stable. The plan is to start getting some camels out just to do a little early pressure. And I do want to go over there and do that pressure essentially with my dervishes as well. So, it's kind of the thought process as of right now. A decent chunk of sheep. I'm pleased there, right? Now, moving out with the dervishes. As we can see, I do have a Desert Raider being produced or in queue at this point. And we're on 885. 8 food, 8 wood, 8 gold. Right? We have the tower, I believe. Do we have a tower yet? No, I didn't drop a tower yet. At this stage. And now we're just moving across to see what can potentially get done. Alright? So, I'm looking for any kind of stuff, any damage I can do, anything, right? Worthwhile. And naturally, I can't get damage done with a scout, so make no mistake about it. But I know my Desert Raider's on the way, so that's what I'm referencing. And I'm like, okay, is there anything for me worthwhile? So, moving up, and I'm like, okay, well, he's getting a few odd and things down. Knew he couldn't really hurt me in that regard, so. And that's when I finally switched over to my bow and arrow, which is nice. So I'm like, okay, I know we have this over here. Let's see, he must be getting his deer. Is there any work I can get done? Unfortunately, doesn't look like it. Does not look like it. Now I'm just trying to get out of dodge before I lose anything. And I'm like, like, okay, well, there's something over here we could potentially get done. So as of right now, 13 food, 8 stone, excuse me, 8 wood, and then I'm losing, as we saw, a desert raider, unfortunately. So I'm like, let's get a castle up, or outpost up right now. Let's move that other desert raider back. Just keep him on over here as I rally and get a few more things done. So I should not have lost that desert raider, y'all. Unfortunately, I was just using the permanent hotkey and moving him over to where the rest of my cavalry was at, and then he ended up walking through the line of fire and getting knocked down. So unfortunate, right? So I got, I want to say 2 or 3 workers done and out the way, which is nice. When I attacked this little area up here. So it was a nice little catch, nothing too crazy, but we got a couple of workers out the way. Made it to Golden Age, decided to start grabbing this deer right now, and I wanted to get up to Age 3 sooner than later. So, didn't have to go on the deer, y'all. Did not need to make it happen, but I figured since I have time at this moment, why not? Just grab the deer, go from there. So, making a little bit of production. 1 barracks, 1 archery range. And we're at a 1-1-1, 1 stable as well. And I'm just putting an outpost on that deer over there, just so I have it. And so in the event that somebody starts with the raiding, I'm not missing much. I was like, what is going on here? Don't chase, buddy. Go over there, put that down. So as you can see, I already have the 633 gold. So the plan was just to transition over and start getting the rest of the food that I needed to basically start going up to Age 3. So that's why I just pulled my gold workers off of gold, went over there to start gathering with the deer as well. And see what's what. I'm like, okay, here he comes. Let's back up. I don't want to lose anything. Just keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. In the event that he tries to come over here, click up and go now. I guess he was not anticipating me having an outpost there, which was nice. And I'm going up to 3, y'all. I'm trying to use and make use of the, what's it called, bow and arrows. And now it would be nice if I transition and put workers back on the gold. You know, that would be cool. You know what I mean? Nothing too shabby, nothing too out the way. Just a little bit of gold won't hurt. Okay, bingo. Got 6 on back on gold. I was like, let me move y'all a little bit closer. So now, I'm close to 3. I don't remember if he hits 3 before me or not, but just so y'all can see, I'm actually going up with the, what is it? The military wing. So I just end up getting some additional desert raiders every 2 minutes. And I do like that wing, right? I think the desert raiders are super, super powerful, especially in my quote-unquote rank bracket. You know, you're going to have a lot of people who want to go mass cavalry. Ayyubids, Abysid, with having the camels, or like the, you know, bane of the cavalry existence. So I think they're very, very powerful in that regard. And then naturally having very fast-moving dervishes, which are the religious units, to heal, I think that plays a very crucial part as well. So just making my way out now to start getting these relics. So I'm about to be Age 3. I'm like, alright, I can at least walk away with at least 2 of them, bare minimum. And there we go. Pick up, go. I got the other one as well. Pick up and go. And now, starting to grab, build a moss, just so I can drop those off. I'm looking on the mini map right now, and it looks like they're trying to get me. I got them up out of there, which is good. Infrastructure, what do we have, y'all? Still 111, so nothing special as of yet. But at least I do have these relics, which is nice. Now it's like, okay, I gotta start producing. That needs to happen. So we're getting some economic upgrades, specialized pick, horticulture, starting to get some actual blacksmith upgrades as well. And now we're just adding more infrastructure. So current split, 19 food, 3 wood. I don't know what I just did with my wood. Okay, they're all idle. That's what I did with my wood. So wood is idle. I hope I actually don't idle for too long, but I'm like, okay, that's what we got. Trying to come across now, so now I'm starting to crank out some golems. Because I'm like, I need to be able to actually compete. Horses are not, excuse me, camels are not going to hold it across the board for good. And now just yanking up a few more relics, which is nice, right? Still continuing to get some upgrades, and kind of happy with what we got going on right now, y'all. 19, 7, and 13. Desert Raiders are still being produced, which is a plus. And now I'm just getting ready to, what I imagine is getting ready to be some engagements. Got him up out the way. Let's back up, back up, back up. Unfortunately, I have a idle villager here. Where am I rallying? Okay, I'm still rallying the gold. Okay, I was like, where are they rallying at? Supply capped and dropping off some more, what's it called? Relics. So happy about that. Getting a bunch of different upgrades. Still definitely need more units, but getting a decent chunk of upgrades at this point. And how many relics did I walk away with, y'all? Let me see. 4. Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. So we're looking pretty good. And now I'm like, okay, it feels like it's a nice time to, you know, start doing some work. I don't know what that work includes as of yet, but we're gonna do something. So upgrades is looking good. See my opponent getting out of dodge, and I'm like, all right, he's leading me somewhere, and I don't need to be a part of where he's leading me to. Upgrades is still taking place. Pumping some golems. Infrastructure wise, 2 barracks, 2 archery range is still 1 stable. And I'm like, all right, what do we have? So we can see, got our dervishes in the mix, and dervishes is keeping people alive right now. Yeah, which is super nice. Super nice, right? So, still just getting upgrades. Got some food coming in. Whole bunch of upgrades that are taking place. So I'm like, okay, this is not looking too good. Let's back up a little bit. Pull these bad boys over. We're looking good. Right, looking solid, looking sturdy at this point. I'm like, don't want to go too far in. Let's back up. We do not want to go too far in. So right now, just still producing some more units. Still getting more upgrades. I'm pretty sure I'm beating him in the upgrade battle. If I was a betting man, right? I'm just guessing at this point. I'm like, okay, let's back up, let's back up. And let's slide back because I realized I'm like, I don't have dervishes right now. Units are not being healed. Let's pull back a little bit and let's relax. So I have some more dervishes being produced. One thing I should have been doing a lot sooner, I should have already been taking sacreds, right? So that should have been occurred. Unfortunately, it did not, right? But that's just the reality at this point in time. Bunch of upgrades. Oh, I finally got the market up, so it looks like I did start establishing trade as well. Anybody going yet? Not as of yet. But I have it up, which is a plus. And now another dervish on the field. Decent income gold-wise, which is nice. 4 relics, in addition to 15 on gold. And as you can see, I'm pumping out a lot of traders just to get in the mix. So I enjoy the way I'm playing this so far. Idle villagers, unfortunately, still. Quick little pause. I want to just see something real quick. What's his supply right now? 87 out of 155 economy, 32 military. So he's 87 out of 100. I'm 101. So I'm not looking too bad in the grand scheme of things, y'all. I was like, got trade that's starting up, establishing that. I'm like, let me start using my cavalry, start building some catapults just so I can get some siege in the mix. And I can't remember, did I make any more catapults? I feel like I should have made more, but maybe I didn't, y'all. Still knocking out traders, getting more, what's it called? More traders, more dervishes. So we're looking good across the board. I'm like, let me back up, let me back up, let me back up. And he got ghosts. He got ghosts. You notice I just took the first sacred. So I was finally got on my P's and Q's and started walking around to have a dervish go around and take those. So I'm pleased. I'm definitely pleased. It wasn't my best work, but not too bad for my first um game, first or second game with my Ayyubids, right? So let's just take a quick look at the stats first. We'll do our pros and cons, and then we'll wrap up this video. So timeline, it looks like quote unquote I was ahead. But that's what we see from these graphics. And then he was, yeah, as I mentioned at the time of this recording, he was gold 3. It looks like he might be gold 2 now. And then let's take a look at our stats real quick. So total score, I was up. Military, I was up. Tech, I was up. He was better economy, and I was better society. Military, largest army 90. Okay, so I did have a bigger army than he did. What about economy wise, y'all? Economy, he was pretty much, I don't want to say he was waxing me. 3 and 3 basically. So he had better total overall. I had more food. He had better wood, better stone. I didn't even start gathering stone yet. My gold income was phenomenal. Max food and then max wood for him. Okay. Tech wise, okay. I made it up to 2, before him. He made it to 3 before me. Research, I knew I was, ahead of him in research wise, which is a plus in the society. Last but not least, 5 I didn't even realize I went and got another one. He had me in villagers, idle villager time. This might be my best so far that we've seen, 12 seconds. So that's an improvement, right? We definitely got to put that in the pro as opposed to a con this game. So not too bad. So let's take it from the top, right? And we'll wrap things up. So number 1, let's start with the pros, right? My idle villager time is down. I'm trying to get better on that, just not to have idle villagers around. And on top of that, I did not lose any villagers this time around either, right? So idle villager time, that's something that I'm actively trying to work on, and that was actively improved upon. So check there. Infrastructure was still terrible. We did make it. It was a short game, right? Relatively short, only 19 minutes and 30 seconds. But I believe I still only had 2 barracks, 2 archery ranges and two stables, right? From a infrastructure standpoint. I don't even think I had a siege workshop that game, right? So basically 20-minute game, infrastructure still low, and naturally I was still getting 3 desert raiders every 2 minutes. So that was an production as well, which is nice. But that doesn't excuse the fact that my infrastructure was terrible. Like as you can see, I'm always producing units, I'm always getting the upgrades, but I just find myself on autopilot mode at times where I'm producing a decent chunk of units consistently out of a very limited amount of infrastructure, which is not good, right? So we'll get into that in a moment. Because we're trying to focus on the pros right now, right? So good scouting, good scouting from the aspect of me getting a decent chunk of sheep early on. Good scouting to be aware of when he was coming from his side of the map over to me. Um, Not good in the sense of being alert the entire game, i.e., going back to his base multiple times and seeing what he was doing. Right. But once again, we'll leave that for a con. What else? Another pro was relics, right? I ended up with 5 relics that game, as we saw. I started taking one sacred site, and I actually had a dervish that was making rounds to all of the sacred sites. However, he ended up leaving the game before we ended up getting, the additional sacred sites. On top of that, I felt like I took pretty good engagements for the most part. Took pretty good engagements. And what else? I felt like I was pretty well diversified with my villagers for the different resources. So I felt like I was getting all of the respective resources that I needed. Um, so we'll lump that in as another pro. And then I do feel like I made very good use of my religious units that game, right? They weren't, as we've seen in other games, I'll have them, but they're not with the army. I'll have them, but they're not being utilized when the battle's going on, right? With the Ayyubids, I not only had them, but they were in every engagement. And then when I didn't have them and they were, killed, I pulled back, waited till I got some more, and then re-engaged. So I think that was a pro as well. Let's dive into the cons, okay? So con number one, idle villagers, right? Once again, it's a pro. I did better this game, but still idle villagers. Need to do better. I want to get that 12 seconds down to, 1 second or zero. You know what I'm saying? Another con would be um, infrastructure. As we've established game and game and game again, I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to work on it the same way I was actively working on lessening the idle villager time frame this game. I'm actively working on getting better infrastructure moving forward, right? That would be a con as well. Um, I would say another con would be the scouting. I got to do a lot better with the scouting, just so I'm aware of what's going on, not just in the beginning of the game, but every stage of the game. Another con would be, um, what else? I did pretty good. I had a decent chunk of food. I'll lump this in as a con because I feel like I should have transitioned to farms or started getting a farm transition sooner, right? Even at the 19-minute mark, I still had sheep, right? I started making a transition to farms because I knew those sheep would eventually run out. My berries were gone, the deer pack was gone, right? But I did not make a quick enough farm transition sooner. So I definitely should have done that, right? And then what else, y'all? Is there anything else? Um, those are the cons predominantly that come to mind right now. I couldn't lump in map control as a con. I felt like I was doing a decent amount there. I was being active, pushing up, backing up, pushing up, backing up, but I still didn't start collecting stone yet, which means I didn't have any kind of castles up, which means, there were no castles around the sacreds, etc. So we will lump in map control as a con, right? Just for the sake of argument. So we want to get to a point where the pros outweigh the cons. Unfortunately, that's not the case as of yet, but we're getting there, right? So with that being said, ladies and gents, definitely feel free to like, follow, share, subscribe, just to get notified every time I drop, new content, all of that good stuff. In addition to that, right, definitely make sure you go back scan the QR code and or go to the website, go enter in your information so that you're on my email newsletter so I can keep you abreast and up to date of everything that's going on. And then I'm genuinely trying to get better. I say this again and again and again because I mean that. If you have any tips, tricks, strategies, definitely feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Just stay on topic, stay respectful, right? I'm trying to get better. Definitely may be as good as some of you, maybe worse than some of you, maybe better than some of you, right? But I'm trying to grow and develop the same way that I'm pretty sure we all are. So keep it on topic, keep it respectful, right? With that being said, I appreciate each and every one of you. And yeah, man, until next time and next game, everybody take care.